evening, everybody. Oh, y'all can do a little better than that. Good evening, everybody. My name is Candace Fleming. I am the National Training Director for OGU and a proud member of the Urban Specialist Heal America Tour.
My name's Will Dowell. I'm the director of the Poverty Initiative for Stand Together and a proud partner of Urban Specialists in this work.
I don't know if you've heard about the Heal America Tour, but it is a vision that God gave to our CEO and founder, Bishop Omar Jahwar, actually at the end of 2019. And I think everybody will agree 2020 has been a year, right? And so we have a vision and a goal of going state to state, city to city, and leading very intentional conversations about difficult topics with the goal of leaving with solutions that are going to lead to healing.
That's right, Candace. And I think one of the things we're most proud of in this work is this deep belief in people that we share, and that people in communities have the solutions that they want to bring forward to bring about the change that they want to see. And as we work together, it's been amazing to watch in cities like Dallas and Minneapolis and Atlanta, Chicago, here tonight, Los Angeles in December, to see communities rise up, identify those solutions, and then for us and others to partner alongside and remove the barriers that stand in the way.
Absolutely. We're super excited to be in Jackson tonight, and we're excited for all the leaders, the OGs, the individuals who are committed to healing Jackson. And actually, at this time, I would like to welcome to the stage Mayor Lumumba. He has been so gracious. If you would give him a round of applause as he's coming. Jackson, Mississippi has been so gracious to us in our preparation for coming here. I'm excited about what we are going to leave with here. And so we're going to allow him to have a couple of words, if you will.
All right. Good evening. You can do much better than that. Good evening. One more time. Good evening. Listen, it is a pleasure to stand before you, give greetings, official greetings on behalf of the city of Jackson. But more importantly, I'm happy to welcome this discussion, this critical conversation here in our city because we need it. It's important. I'm thankful to the organizers of Heal America. I'm grateful to Jackson State. I'm grateful to all of the organizers that helped put this event together. But I will say that I'm particularly grateful for the young men and women within community that we want you to speak your truth. And we want an honest dialogue. We want to hear your truth so that we can better understand how we improve conditions in our city, how we make our city safer. At the end of the day, I believe in the words of Ella Baker. Ella Baker, the great organizer, said that when you look deep into community, you find strength, not weakness. And it is going to be the community that ultimately heals the city of Jackson, and provides a safer path for all of us forward. Thank y'all for being here. Thank you for this discussion. Thank you to the organizers, and welcome to everybody.
Thank you. Give him another round of applause. Now, at this time, I would like for you to meet and hear from the visionary himself, Bishop Omar Jahwar.
When I think about what happened here, the killing of George Floyd, and what is transpiring across the nation, I feel angry. I feel cheated. More than anything else, I feel like I'm standing in the middle of a fire. Fire that has the potential to purify, but yet it can also destroy when it burns out of control. The question is, how are we going to respond to this fire? That's what this Heal America is all about. It's a series of local conversations bringing together leaders who are committed to finding common ground and believe we can find and implement solutions that chart a constructive path forward for our nation. One that embraces America's founding ideas, those of equal justice, inclusion, and empowerment. We believe, as Frederick Douglass and Dr. King did, that America draws its strength from these ideas, and that more fully embracing them is the solution to overcoming any injustice. See, confronting injustice and eliminating racism won't happen overnight. But there is more common ground than people realize. We have the opportunity to move people from being frustrated on the sidelines to being frontline participants of change. The first step is what we've been doing in Dallas, in Detroit, in Baton Rouge, and now here in Minneapolis. It's bringing people, but there is more common ground than people realize. We have the opportunity to move people from being frustrated on the sidelines to being frontline participants of change. The first step is what we've been doing in Dallas, in Detroit, in Baton Rouge, and now here in Minneapolis. It's bringing people together, people with different backgrounds and perspectives to help us all better understand these complex and difficult situations. It's conversation, it's listening, and it's dialogue.
Inspired people can inspire people. Challenge one another.
Leaders can step up to prevent it from happening again.
You know, it's just the right thing to do.
I will change the face of modern day policing.
We've got to love them like we love ourselves.
Instead of calling each other out all the time, we call each other in, call each other up.
Thank you, Mark.
You see, Heal America is not just a series of conversations, but it's a movement. It is a demonstration of the difficult work that must take place everywhere, in each one of us, and in our cities for America to live up to our ideals. This is a challenge that we all must participate in, and no one can tap out now. There's just too much work to be done, and it will take each of us bringing our abilities, our knowledge, and skills to the table to move this forward.
Come on, please give it up.
And I'm so glad that you are with us tonight, and you are a part of this Heal America movement. Let's heal together.
At this time, please welcome to the stage NFL Hall of Famer and head coach of the Jackson State University football team, Mr. Deion Sanders.
You know, I used to love when they said Hall of Famer, but I love when they say head coach of the Jackson State football team. Oh, that makes me blush. D, I love. My bishop and my pastor, my best friend, is a phenomenal man, and I just pray to God that we can do justice and make him proud of us. I think we have him on the line. Is he there?
My brother Deion.
I love you, Pastor.
Man, I'm so different right now because everybody knows that we're dealing with this crisis. I'm in the hospital.
He's in ICU, everybody.
I've been dealing with COVID, and this has really turned everything around, man, in my mind. But the only reason I'm on this line tonight is because I understand that this healing is for real. And it's not about my individual struggle with COVID or somebody else's individual struggle with this. It means this, that there are moments when God has to remind you that every part of your being has to be tested when you really want to get better, even when you don't want to test. So I'm in the test right now, but the person that I would look to talk me through my test is my brother that's on that stage. I know some of y'all know him as your new head coach. Some people know him as a philanthropist, as a leader, but that's my best friend right there. When I went through some of the hardest pains in my life, even though I'm his pastor, he walked me through. When things were going up and down, there was a time when I had to look to people who had an answer, and it was prime. So on this healing journey tonight, I'm so happy that the OGs are there. I love standing together. I'm so happy that Urban Specialists and all the crew is there. But Prime, you know why we're there, man.
Yes.
It's because this time was developed before the foundation of the world.
That's right.
it was developed so we could do what we're doing. You told me something today, and I hope you can share it tonight. I love you, my brother. I'm looking at it. I'm going to be back stronger. And I never thought I'd be in this position, but I'm proud of you, man. And I appreciate who you are, my brother. You know that. So handle your business. I'll never forget one time you told me, sometimes when God puts you in position, he don't clown you. You told me he give you everything you need right before it's time to perform it. So he's giving you what you need. And I hope that everyone in Jackson, thank you. I apologize for not being there, but I'm there in spirit, and I love you. Prime, I love you, my brother.
I love you. Now get off this phone and get some rest, please. I love you, Bishop. Last night after I talked to my bishop, my pastor, my best friend, God placed something in my heart. Because some of you don't understand, and you always think that someone would have a motive to do what God called them to do. I wanted to coach at Jackson State University. Not just because of the football and understanding, but once I really dove into it, to understand the trials and the tribulations of Jackson, to understand the alarming murder rate, to understand the teenage pregnancy, to understand the juvenile delinquent, to understand all the trappings of life when you see a depleted neighborhood and condemned homes. And I think about not just winning football games, but winning lives. And how can we make this better? I wrote something last night after I spoke to my man of God. It said, I just need you to see what I see. I need you to feel what I feel. I need you to think like I think, because if we could ever get on the same page mentally, physically, and spiritually, we all gonna go and grow in places that we've never been. And then we will have that peace that passes all understanding that our elders always spoke of, but we've never experienced it. That's all I want you to do, Jackson. I want you to see what I see. I see a thriving city. I see some people that are hungry and thirsty to do better. I see some people that if you just point them and aim them right in the right direction, that they will soar. I see people that just needs to start loving one another again. And to start that off, I have some wonderful men of God. Bishop Ronnie Crudup from the New Horizon Church International, Pastor Dwayne Pickett from New Jerusalem Church, and Pastor C.J. Rhodes from Mount Ham Baptist Church. Pastors, first of all, thank you for joining us. How I met with many of you when I came in the announcement, because I wanted you to understand what a vital role you play in who you are in the midst of our communities. Like when I grew up, and still to this day, you guys are it. You guys are the glue. You're not only the pastors, the mentors, the doctors, the truth tellers. You're the ATMs oftentimes. You're the spiritual guidance counselors. You're everything in all things, and you get scrutinized and criticized for being the best that you could possibly be. What role does the clergy play in Jackson? And what role do we need to play in Jackson to improve everything that we're trying to accomplish?
Well, first of all, let me say we're grateful to have you, Coach Prime, here in Jackson, Mississippi. And I lived in Memphis, Tennessee, and in Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina. And you see cities that have some of the same problems, crime, potholes, and yet they've been able to overcome a lot of that, so that when you think about Memphis, you don't think about crime first, you think about Beale Street. Mm-hmm. You don't think about crime in Durham, you think about Duke or other places. And I think one of the biggest things that we have to do in Jackson is see ourselves not as grasshoppers, but as giants. And in one sense, one of the biggest and best things we do as pastors is to preach a message of hope and transformation so that people can see themselves as God sees them. And they may sound like wishful thinking to some, but we can testify in our own congregations of people who were rock bottom, who didn't see themselves ever achieving anything, but through the message, through the ministry, were able to rise up. And if we can multiply that across the city, that hundreds of churches and pastors working together, putting ego and turf aside and just saying, look, denomination aside, saying, look, at the end of the day, we're all fighting for the same cause, I think we will really see Jackson see itself in a better way.
Pastor, take that same question, please.
All right. Coach, thank you. Crudo. Clergy, we're natural conveners. We convene people. We're natural motivators.
Yes.
It's a part of what we're called to do. And we have to take that to another level. And particularly with the challenges that we're experiencing today, then even more, we've got to push that out and not necessarily see that as the big auditorium full of people, but also do that on the individual level. And I think that the challenge today especially is to do more one-on-ones, to do more mentoring, true discipleship of people. That's a kind of a lost word. And, you know, Jesus was a discipler. He wasn't just a preacher.
That's right.
He was a discipler. And I think that too often we become more just auditorium speakers rather than disciplers. And we got to get back more to, I'm going to use a word that you know real well, coaching.
There you go.
Because coaching really is about mentoring. It's getting, you know, really, really intimate with people, getting down to where they live, touching them at the real felt levels. And I think if we do more of that kind of thing, we're going to get a better results.
Pastor, I apologize if I mispronounced your name. Crudo.
You pronounced it right.
Thank you, sir. Pastor, what is needed from the community? We always put a reference on the church. What is needed from the community in order to see an impactful change?
Well, I think from the community is understanding of one another, and the idea of the only way we can do this is together. So my background is a little different because I got a chance to teach school. I taught school in Jackson at Rowan. I was a assistant principal here. So the whole thing of us connecting and being able to feel the pain of the community and trying to figure out how do we meet that need as the church. And bringing that connection together of an understanding that all of us don't arrive on the same Sunday. All of us don't arrive on the same day. So, you know, we really made a decision, as these brothers have, that we want to meet guys where they are. So I've been around long enough now to watch how it can work, because many of the kids that were in my school are now members of my church. They're deacons in my church. They're people that are involved in the community. So I think it's about understanding and patience with one another and saying, you know what, I'm going to love you despite where you are, because there was a day when I was there. There's a difference between, the only difference between myself and some of the guys that's locked up is I didn't get caught that time. Or I had a father that backed me up and held me up. So I think the church and the community got to come together and understand that. And now the church has to be surrogate parents in our community.
What are we missing, guys? I mean, what are we missing? It seems like people say the church ain't doing this, the man of God ain't doing this, and I defer. I think you're doing a tremendous job with some turbulent times. But what is that one thing that we're missing that it seems as though we're not getting?
I would say one of those things is togetherness.
There you go.
I think a lot of our churches are doing a lot of great things where they are. And if you ask anybody who's been helped by a church, they could tell you the things that particular church or pastor has done. But people outside of that church don't know necessarily that church has helped pay light bills or feed the community and all those kinds of things. And I want to press this. I think it's more and more important for us to come together as pastors, as churches across denominations, across regions of the city. Jackson's a beautiful place, but there are people who may live in Northeast Jackson or South Jackson or West Jackson that know nothing about the rest of Jackson. And we have to get out of our silos and begin to figure out how we map all this together. Bishop Crudo was a part of a press conference today. Many churches have been trying to help Jackson Public School students during this pandemic, providing laptops, smart devices, school supplies, helping the teachers, etc. But it's sort of like trying to take a spoon to spoon out a flooding ship. But when you bring all these folks together, I think about Big Mama from Soul Food.
Come on.
Who said if we're individual fingers, we can't do a whole lot. But we come together, we become one big fist and can strike a mighty blow. And I think COVID-19 has taught us that until we come together as one mighty fist, we're weaker apart, but we're stronger together. And I hope and pray that conversations like this move beyond this moment to really help us in a very intentional, strategic, and ongoing way stick together.
My pastor, my bishop, my best friend has truly set a vision here with Stand Together in what we're doing with Healing America. How do you feel this is impactful, even for Jackson?
Well, Coach, I think that, the pandemic has been about change. That the things that we presuppose, we took for granted, how we did things, our methodology, all of those things now, we've had to deal with change in the midst of all of that. And, egos have had to go out the door.
Say that again, please.
Yeah, well, the egos have had to go out the door because that's a part of this new normal that we're dealing with. And I don't think some of that stuff is going to come back the way it was. And so all of us now being challenged to look at new ways, new forms of relating to people. And for me, the key word is caring. We've got to do more to let every person in this community know we care about you. You are valuable to us. You are important to us. We're having an epidemic of murders and crime in Jackson, Mississippi. We need to let those young men and young women know, who even may be some of the people who are pulling the trigger, we care about you. Even if you don't care about yourself,
right? You're
valuable to us. Your life matters. You have worth and dignity. The mark of God is upon you. Even you may not be acting like it at this particular point. And the old saying is that people really don't care what you have to say until they know you care.
That's right.
And so because too, that was a time when the church was the center of the community and people came to us. That day is not that day anymore. We've even more got to go to people, and we've got to use new ways of reaching out to these folks to get that message over that we really do care about you, and we're going to do what we've got to do to demonstrate that and help you be all that you can be.
Pastor, I grew up, I'm Asian myself right now, but I grew up in the Good Times era. Well, we watched Good Times. We saw James Evans and the wife and JJ and Thelma and all those people. I remember one specific episode when they brought Ned DeWino in and they cleaned Ned up because the social worker was coming over and they needed to clean Ned up to make Ned look right. They had no idea that the social worker was married to Ned. Even though they cleaned Ned up, he was still Ned. And it made me think, oftentimes we try to clean the homeless man up, but he's still homeless. Mm-hmm. We need to give him opportunity. We need to give him purpose so he has an obligation to himself to show others that he is now transformed by the renewing of the mind. And oftentimes we try to clean things up, but we don't give them purpose. Mm-hmm. Could you speak to that, Pastor?
Yes, well, all of us were designed with a purpose. So understanding we all were designed for a purpose, but if I never had anybody to speak into my life that I'm on purpose and that I have a purpose, and the examples I've seen were people that didn't live on purpose of anything that was godly or anything that even was based on family, right? So imagine this, just like with many kids, I had 2 kids before I was married, right? But I had a father and a mother that was at home with me. I had grandparents that kept our kids so we could finish college. Well, when I don't have that, I don't feel like anybody cares about me. I feel like I have no purpose. So now, if nobody's ever spoken to me to tell me who I really am, That's why I can go down the street and do anything to anybody thinking I'm holding up for what I got to hold up for, but I don't see them as valuable because I don't see myself as valuable. And so it's almost here, and it's amazing to me because all of us probably have the same experience having grown up in church, but the difference is now we're dealing with generations that did not grow up in church. We've got 35-year-old grandmothers.
Yes.
So if I'm a 35-year-old grandmother, when I was at Brinkley, a 35-year-old grandmother would come in checking on her child, but they were dressed just alike. So it created an image. And so now you blow up with social media and all this. So the image they see is so different from what we were able to see of this hardworking man who put the work in to try to make it, right? And now they think it's all just we forget about process. None of us make it without process. You did with all your success. People didn't know it was process,
yes,
right? And so I think we got to go back, and what we're missing is the ability for guys like me, Bishop Crudup, and all of us that have been successful in some kind of way to remember that I wasn't always this guy.
That's right. Pastor, I just want you guys to know that I need you. And when I met with you guys, when I came here after the announcement, I wasn't playing. It wasn't no trick or treat, and it wasn't even October. I need you. I want you to be a part of our team, to be a part of our school, to be a part of this university, to be a part of our lives, because we have some young men that are fighting for their lives. Mm-hmm. And oftentimes masquerading as a football player while they're fighting for their lives. And their lives is much more important than that to me. That's why your counterparts, our fellow pastors amongst the city, I need each and every one of you to be successful, not only on the field, but off the field. And I truly mean that. And I thank God brought us together for a time and a season for such a time as this. I appreciate you, pastors. God bless you.
Thank you. God bless you.
How's everyone doing? After I met with the pastors, after the announcement, I felt compelled to meet with another group of men. I don't know if they walked in the church like the pastors, or they may have crawled. They may have grunted and groaned, but they made it. And they're the guys that I oftentimes looked up to when I was a kid. A lot of people went left when some chose to take a right and to stay right. But these guys hadn't forgotten how to come home, who they are, why they are, and they're pillars of the community. We call them OGs, original gangsters. You call them thugs. You call them this, you call them that. But where I come from, these guys always looked out for me. They always had my back. They always gave me a boost up. They always kicked me down to keep me off the street, to keep me on the straight and narrow. And I wanted to meet with them because they have a hold on our communities. And oftentimes they choose to do what's right, even when wrong is convenient. So I'm going to bring these guys out right now, and we're going to just have a conversation. Come on, fellas. We're not going to ask you to sit. We're going to ask y'all to stand. And before you speak, just introduce yourself so they'll know. When we had that first initial meeting, it got a little hot, got a little heated, because the one thing that I love about them, they said, Prime, we don't need your money. We just need the stage. We need your pool. We need a voice to expound on our thoughts. And Chill, can you tell us a little bit about those meetings and what we're trying to accomplish here?
Good evening, everyone. I'm Willie Williams. Well, the purpose of the meetings was just simple. You know, we had a bunch of guys with big voices on different sides of town that could get a lot of things solved with phone calls And it just got to the point to where seeing all the violence and then knowing that we're really trying to undo some of the things that we've done. Because if I stand up here and say if I never did some of the things that they participating in out there today, I'd be lying. So we coming together as just trying to unionize ourselves, like people that are actually listening, you know, like we explain to them, like you can tell them this, but until you change the environment which these individuals have to go back into, it's cool while you riding with me, we in Madison, we all in Brandon, everywhere else, but they got to go back into the jungle. So until we change that environment that we live in, what we saying is null and void, really.
Can you pick up where he left off?
Yeah, I can. Well, I'm gonna tell y'all right. My name is Terrio Thomas, and well, to be honest, I'm not gonna give you the church answer. I'm just gonna tell you what's real. You know, we the ones that's in the community. We see what's going on. We know all the problems that they going through. Like Chill said, like, man, we just need some help. And when I say help, only we can help the community, because just to be honest, the police can't change the community. The mayor can't change the community. The people in the community can change the community. You know? And that's what we trying to tell. Not only we already know, we trying to tell everybody else, man, that we need the leaders in the community to take over the community, because these kids, I ain't gonna say they lost, they misguided.
When you say leaders, let's pinpoint it. Let's don't sugarcoat it. What do you mean by leaders of the community?
I mean, the bosses in the city are men. I mean, just flat out men. They ain't talking about little boys that'll take somebody, you know, under their wing to do something just as worse as they'll do or they scared to do. I'm talking about real men that'll show you how to get a job. Somebody that'll show you that it ain't nothing wrong with getting a job and being a hard-working man, growing up to be a boy, to a teenager, to a man. I'm talking about a man. I'm not talking about a 50-year-old boy that don't know how to control his anger. You know, I ain't talking about them. I ain't got nothing to do with them. I'm talking about men, you know. So that's why I say by a leader, like my dad. My dad is a leader. He was a man in the house. He not only took care of me, he took care of all the kids in the community and showed them the right way. I chose to go this way, but my dad was a man through everything. You know, I went to prison, you know. That didn't reflect my mom and dad. That was the choice that I made. You know, and bam, when I went to prison, you had people like Bishop Kruger, that is my bishop. He came, he mentored me, but I made a mistake. Sometimes you got to show these people, man, okay, you made a mistake, but it's not too late to turn around and correct your life. So that's what we coming from, man. That's what this whole panel about. We just trying to get people to realize that we need men to step up, which I don't even know why John Knight not up here, but that's another story. We need men to step up, and we need them to take over their communities in a positive aspect. That's it.
Can you pick up where he left off?
Well, man, how y'all doing? Good evening. I'm Lee Vance, the third. And what it really is, it's a variety of us. Because I'm one of the ones that I had both parents in the house, and I'm one of the ones that could show my young brothers another rap. Now I'm also one of the ones that came up around those guys that y'all screaming about that's in the streets and stuff like that because of my cousins, things of that nature. So it's a variety pack. So when you got a variety pack of different men that can show you something different, it's powerful, because I can show you, bro, you ain't got to go sit on the block and sell anything that you ain't got to sell. I can show you how to come throw this party and make you $3,000 at the door off a $100 flyer. You know what I'm saying? It's a million one ways to hustle. You know what I'm saying? Instead of doing wrong, instead of trying to mess up your community, instead of trying to rob this lady because she got a purse on, you might think she got $200 in there. What $200 go get you? It ain't gonna get you nothing. You understand? So we try to get everybody together, man. It gonna take a village, man. Like he said, it's not just on the police and not on the mayor. Because if Chris killed Ray over here and the police not there, y'all go blame the police. You can't blame the police. You gotta blame Chris. They know where in the area. So we gotta take the community, like everybody's saying, man. We gotta come together and we gotta stop getting on social media, try to judge folks, talking about you criticize the whole city. You got so much to say about the city, but you never know where to be found when guys are doing stop the violence rallies. When guys are feeding giving away a thousand plates to the community when the pandemic hit. These guys out here in the audience just had some on Northside Drive, Strong Arms of Jackson. It wasn't probably about 25 people to show up. But every day you on the internet talking about how regular Jackson is and we ain't got this, we ain't got that. Well, you ain't trying to do nothing. You ain't trying to make a change. You all talk behind the screen. But we see each other all the time. It's always a collective, a group of us, and we trying to make a change. So I'm telling y'all, everybody, if you got your social media out, this on the news, anything, we need all y'all help. We need all y'all help. Let's stop criticizing and come together and make it happen.
What is that that's so obvious that is right before our eyes and we're missing it? What is that one thing that you can identify? What are we missing? Because it seems like it's obvious. Everything you said is the gospel. You 100% correct. But why can't we do it?
No one wants to be the one to take the last lick. We got the real Hatfield in McCoy.
Say that again.
No one wants to be the last one to have the last lick. No one's the one to say, man, okay, you won. You killed my cousin, the beef over with. You got the last lick, and let's live and let's go, let it go on. But no, as soon as you kill my cousin, he got 5 other little cousins that come back to try to kill you. We got the real Hatfields and McCoys going on right now. Until someone step up and be brave enough to just look, like grab these brothers and be like, man, look, this got to stop, man. We coming, they just killing every day. All somebody got to do is step up with these little simple beefs that they have and say, look, man, look, it's over. Y'all killed such and such. Y'all got y'all. It's over with. No more killing. Until we get that, man, that's one of the simplest things to do.
How y'all doing? I'm Xavier Turner. It's a privilege to meet y'all. And Vance, what you said about real men, that's a big factor because I'm one of the ones that, I grew up in poverty, put up for adoption and things like this. And now these guys here, they are the role models for me. And it's because that instead of looking down on what's going on, it had to be real stand-up guys to just go there instead of just talking about it. These people want to see y'all as far as the men in the community, the law, or whatever you do, or whoever you are. These people need guidance, include myself, because it's hard to do the right thing when you never was taught the right thing. We know that suit is gray because they taught us that suit was gray. You didn't come out, so it's like when you have kids that they don't have no guidance. This house right here next door to them, they selling drugs at this house, and it's ran down, it's broke down, and the people that is in power, they look down on them. Far as nah, we don't want to go over there. This what they doing, but y'all have to sometimes sit back and understand the logic and the reasoning for the things that they do. And it's they not doing it to really hurt nobody. They doing it because this all they know. Because they don't have real men like police officers. Sometimes I know you on duty, you see the kids out here, let them know it's okay. You feel me? You can get out, shoot a couple shots with them. Because it's now they feel like you understand they struggle. And now they, in their mind state, is okay, he understand. And he's not one of those people that just look at me and turn his nose up. So men, that's a big factor. I go through a lot because I didn't have men. I'm not perfect. I've been to prison. And I'd be lying if I said that I didn't do some things in my past that was wrong. But it was I didn't know. When you have these guys over here, I'm watching them get money and they teaching me that this is what you're supposed to do. So it's we do need more stand-up men in Jackson. And it's they not doing it because who's trying to come teach them? Who's trying to help put them in some programs? Instead of just teaching the bad way, pick them up and show them the right way. Let them go wash some cars. You can't be on a high horse to where, we don't want to go over there. Look at him, he got his pants down, the head to the back. Go explain to him why he don't need to do that. Tattoos, why you don't need those tattoos, bro, because they can mess you up in society. So until we start getting more stand-up people like these guys right here, it's I'm the youngest one, and all these guys watch me grow up. And it was a lot of negative, and it's I was searching, I was trying to find my way, and nobody took the time out to say, hey, come over here, let's do this, or let me show you this way, or school, go to school and make sure you do everything you need to do. So until we get some real men and stand-up people, women too, as far as the little girls, They so caught up in Instagram and YouTube with their little clothes on, or hearing what the females rapping about now. We need real women to teach these ladies how to become a real woman. And until that happens, it's not gonna be a change.
Well, first of all, let me address when you said I'm not perfect. I don't think anybody in here is. Am I right? Okay. Second of all, you alluded to real men. I think the misconception of a man is skewed. It can go all over the place. What is the definition of a real man? Somebody who gets money. Somebody say, yeah, that's a real man. Somebody who blinging. Yeah, that's a real man. Somebody who's stunned. Somebody that could pull up on you, roll up on you, put you under. That's our perception in the inner cities. But there's no one to tell these guys, no, man. That man that married that woman that he had that baby from and called him his son, so he was never called a baby daddy, he was called a father. That's a man. A man that goes to work and comes home on time. That's a man. A man that knows at least one of his children's teacher. Y'all miss that one. You'll think about that one on the way home, but just knows one of his children's teacher. A woman that builds his lady, uplifts his lady, and supports his woman, and encourages his woman, and prays for his entire family. That's a real man. So what is our perception that we have skewed of men? What was your perception of a man when you were coming up?
My name is Kansas. A man to me is taking care of like the foundation. That's everything around you. If it's your little cousin, your mom, your nephew, that's who you look after. That's what the safety. That's what going to cut grass. When your mama said that the lights are off because of a storm, they're not off because of a storm because she couldn't pay. You know what I'm saying? So a man is pulling in what's lacking to me. Like a home. At home.
How can you help this situation that we're in Jackson?
Well, I have a barbershop and it's in South Jackson. The things that I see is like older guys present to the younger crowd the coolness. So figure like if I have a gun on my hip, a 14-year-old gonna have a gun on his hip because he feel like it's cool, that's respected in the neighborhood. No disrespect, but they don't want to be like the Indians. You know what I'm saying? They want to be like us. So I feel like we have to change us in order to change them. It's about what they see. It's like with the YouTube, with the NBA YoungBoy. All that is cool. Being better and being great it's not cool right now. It's rough, but I try to talk to kids and they covered everything, but I try to talk to kids about different opportunities and the things that we have at the site is called opportunities cut short. And that's because you're not pursuing your dream or what you set out to be. You go on like another route because you want to be cool with your friends and cool with the next person because you will fit in. You won't fit in if you're striving to be a doctor. You're not gonna fit in. I mean, you'll fit in. I'll say you being yourself, but you're not gonna fit in with the cool people. And so that's I think, and they follow majority of the people that they see.
If we had one thing, we have some powerful people in here tonight, including our beloved mayor. If we had one thing that we could change, that we could stand on the table and beat our drums on, that it would be granted, what would it be? What would you desire it to be?
My thing is, they all say some good things, but let's be real, man. Systematic racism, recidivism, when these guys get out of prison, they don't got nothing to do. This is all our resources in Madison and Rankin County. All the people in the majority of them don't live in, the people you talking about, they don't live in Jackson. They take their money to another county. Let's keep it real, man. All these Howard's told out, don't blame the city, don't blame our mayor, we got a great mayor. Let's keep it real. The majority of the people you talk about, the big people, they don't live in the city, they don't resources in Rankin County and Madison County. That's our biggest problem. Hold on, let me finish.
do to bring solvency?
I mean, it's common sense. We need to bring jobs back to Jackson. Help our mayor, help this city, because he's doing a great job in my opinion, and I'm not a politician, by the way. I ain't got nobody's slide. I'm just keeping it on. We got a great mayor. We got to get jobs. He do a good job. We got to get resources back. All our resources, like I say, the majority of people work in Jackson, they don't live in Jackson. The people that with the money you talking about, they don't live in Jackson. They live in Rankin County, Madison County. Let's be real. And the food that live in Harris County, they live out there in Clinton somewhere. They ain't gonna live in the areas we talking about right now. All these burnt down houses, all these torn down houses. I mean, I'm not gonna blame nobody in particular, but let's be real. We didn't do it to ourselves. So we need some help getting it back done. We need jobs in Jackson. All our jobs here, we ain't got no malls in Jackson. We got to go out here when we get discriminated out here in Madison, Northport. They discriminate, they racial profile when we go in the store. We got to go out here and rent, they racial profile when we go in the store. But we spend more money out there than the people live out there. Right in this city. We need our own small. Why we spend the most money in any county? Harris County resident is the #1 consumer. Why we gotta go out here and get racial profile? We can have our own mall right here in this city. Please explain that to me. Amen. We don't have nothing in this city. They're taking all our resources, all our finances, and taking them elsewhere. Then they want to put the spotlight on us and say we're a bad city.
We can't keep saying they.
I mean, listen, I'm not listening. I apologize for that.
Who is they?
We all got to do our part. Let me rephrase that. Let's not be like it fell on the blacks, and we try to do our part. Yes, but let's not be like, yo, I'm part of the problem. I'll be honest. I'm part of the problem. I want to be part of the solution. But don't act like I was born in the greatest of neighborhoods. I was born in the best opportunity. You know what I'm saying? I had the best education. I'm not going to pretend that I made a lot of mistakes. Looking back, when I was young, I would have did a lot of things wrong, but it is what it is. I mean, there's a lot of things that need to get done in this city, but starting with jobs and education and health. They're my 3 biggest goals, but no matter what. We got too many neighborhoods that we used to live in. Don't even look like our neighborhood. It's like Afghanistan as well. But don't nobody, we just need help. That's the bottom line.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Tougher gun laws. You can go to the convenience store and buy a gun in Jackson. We have a gun show every 2 weeks. These folks putting 3,000 to 4,000 guns on the street every time they come. Check and see how many guns they sell. You see, the line is so long to get in half the time. It's too easy to get a gun. Oh, hi, my name's such. Let me have that Draco right there. Give you my ID, sign the paper, no wait, walk out with my gun. Leave the next night, you say something, you pull in front of me, I just bought this gun, I'm finna shoot you. It's too easy to get a gun in Jackson, Mississippi. Until we change them laws about how you carry your gun or how you possess a gun, man, it's gonna be World War II here till they change that, in my opinion.
Yes, sir.
If y'all familiar with it, the people from Jackson, and I brought this up because I rode past today and I didn't even see it. Right across from Battlefield Park used to be the GED place where they had the trays where you can go take auto body. It's abandoned. And I'm not sure if I'm right, but where's the movie theater located? We first we don't have a mall. Okay, now we don't have a movie theater. Where the skating ring located at? You know what I'm saying? So, but let me tell you this. Like he said, the gun show, right? Now what we got to do now? We can't go to the movies. We can't go to the skating ring, but the gun show coming. So now, first of all, your mama not gonna let you. Your mama not see. I would rather a skating ring because I can say, I bet I can skate faster than you. But now it's like, okay, we finna get some money to attend this gun show. Now when we get out here in the gun show, we do want to go shop. We do want to go do this. And like he said, we get racial profiled. It's to the point now to where people from Jackson that's in these environments are terrified to touch county line.
One second. Go ahead, sir.
I got another point. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm gonna try to say this the best way I know how. See what I'm saying? Ain't nothing for the kids to do here. Absolutely zero. Cause you gotta look at it. Back in the day when we were coming up, NYSP, We had the Windy Gaps. We had Metro Center Mall was up. I used to go to the Diamond Gym and spend plenty of money up in the arcade, like they were saying. So now we starting out small. Ain't nothing for the kids to do. So what they gonna do? They gonna sit at home. They gonna be on their phone all day. They gonna play their game all day. They're not going outside. They're not doing nothing. So we're starting off from here and it's going to there. So let's back it up to a spot where y'all probably ain't never been. A lot of communities are being ran by organizations. When I say organization, I'm talking about, gangsters, vice lords, or whatever you want to call it. All those people not bad people.
Right.
See what I'm saying? I'm just going to keep it 100. They ain't all bad people. Some of them in the penitentiary, and they got a lot of influence on kids or on the teenagers or on grown men. See what I'm saying? So we need to get in tune with them too. We got the bishops in there talking about, God this and, Jesus saves and all that, but I got a life sentence. So we need to get in tune with them too. Tell them what we trying to do out here. So once we get in tune with them, if somebody, they ain't gonna want to go in there. Because they already know if you go in there, it's the Thunderdome. I swear to God, you want to go to Raymond right now. I just left. That ain't the spot to go. See, we just gonna keep it 1,000. Like I said, I can't get a church answer. I'm just gonna be real. I'm gonna start from nothing to something. You got something to say? You said.
No, this is one of my favorites. This is one of my favorites. He know he's my dog. I've been asking about him. He's my partner because when we had that initial meet, he spoke with so much passion and we kind of chopped it up a little bit at the conclusion of it. So just knowing that, if y'all see me around town with some of these dudes, don't think you're going to get robbed. They're just my dogs. All right? Ain't going to be none of that. We just down with it. That's how it is. Appreciate you, boss. How you been? What can we do, man, to solve these problems that we're having? You holding that thing like a rapper,
First of all, I want to say hello to everybody that came. The question Prime Time asked me, what do we need to do? What we need to do is start by respecting each other.
There you go.
Like when it come down to respecting one another, it shouldn't be no little eyes and big U's or your color, the race or nothing. It should be a mutual respect. What we need to do is sometime come back to the communities. A lot of how I want to put this.
Dude, say it. What do you want to say? Don't sugarcoat.
I ain't listen.
Don't sugarcoat.
Y'all got me. Listen.
Which way they need to come to help us and the resources we need for them to help us, bro. So tell them what they need to hear.
Alright, I'm gonna start out like this here, man. I feel like the people need to know this, that like this brother said right here, like his organization would run the streets. And I say this to say this, like Trump the president. He the president of the United States. But in our communities, in the streets, the niggas who run this, they the presidents. Like to stop the violence, cause the shooting and stuff in Jackson, what I feel like to stop the violence would be more of us working hands-on. Not criminalize us like we come up in groups and packs and want to identify us, the RICO. Some of us scared because the RICO Act, like some good to be going on, but they'll turn it to make it seem like it's gang affiliate. So that make OGs and stuff want to stand back. You know what I'm saying? Like if the energy I feel like the people that's run the city of Jackson should go off the energy that the people get them. You know what I'm saying? Not just demeanor cause this right here, this right there, that right there happening. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people in the city to handle the business. Now, we can't stop all no killing and shooting. We ain't, we'll never do that. But what we saying is each one teach one. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we pick up days that out of the months that we have, some go on for the whole city of Jackson so they can identify each other. Because most stuff that go on today, people not identifying each other, and you know it's auntie, grandma, cousin, and don't nobody know that until someone has been a did it. You know what I'm saying? Like when we be having gatherings and stuff like that, it really is to start to identify each other, bring it together. You know what I'm saying? Not for the police to, cause we packed out here. Y'all gotta get out of the street. Yeah. You know, anywhere in the community, we smoke weed. You gonna smell it. You know what I'm saying? But we ain't robbing, we ain't raping, we ain't stealing. You know what I'm saying? That's how the community look at it. You know what I'm saying? Like smoking weed and chilling and stuff. Here come the police, this and that. Having people up right, man, I don't like that police. When police, like I say, police, like I don't have nothing against them. They supposed to protect and serve. Like running down on people, you know what I'm saying? Show them the same respect. You know, you want them to show you. You know, that's how you get through in life. And a lot of people would not do the thing they do if they just came to them being palms up from the door. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes in the aggressor, you have an oppressor who's supposed to overcome our aggressor. You know what I'm saying? So what I say this, say that, man, to get back the streets of Jackson, or try to take back the streets of Jackson, I feel like that the guys that in play, we came together before we knew crime was coming down here. We started having meetings amongst ourselves. And like, do what we gonna do, man. Do what it is right here. A lot of us well known right here. Mm-hmm. And we decided that we'll try to take back our streets ourselves because we have a lot of influence. But we don't want the positive vibes get negative outlooks from everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Cause we trying to do something, cause we don't want to wait till it's at our doorstep and then say something about it. You know what I'm saying? We see it going on, we supposed to step up, cause this is our city.
So, guys, like I told the pastors, there's no way we could provoke change without y'all. But we gotta be men of our word. That word man kept coming up today. We gotta step up and step out from amongst the boys and take back our city. Just imagine, what's the date? What's the date, everybody? What's the date? 21st. I should have known that. That number's always been good to me. Number's always been good to me. On this day of 21st of October, let's see what the murder rate would be next month if we do our thing. Let's see what the crime rate will be next month if we do what we say we gonna do. Let's make a pledge from this day forward. We gonna do our parts individually as well as collectively to provoke change. Not just talk about it, just be about it. So if I see Chill on the street somewhere, I know he has a restaurant, I'm gonna go patronize it. What's up, my brother? How you doing, man? You good? You straight? You good? All right. That's how it's gonna be. Police officers as well. Don't look at them, not that you are, as someone violent, as someone provocative, or someone that could cause a problem, but someone that could bring help and bring solvency. Let's look at them. Not that they trying to harass you. They want to go home just like you want to go home. They got kids just like you got kids. They want to be loved and respected just like you. Let's look at this thing totally different. The mind and the perception is a crazy thing. If we could just change our perception of each other and everyone else, we could do some amazing things. And I believe we could do it. Y'all are weight makers. 1 second. Y'all are weight makers. Y'all are doers. Y'all are dominant. Y'all are dogs, man. Y'all are rock wallers. Y'all know how the hood got. Y'all run everything. Ain't nobody. I checked up on everything. Y'all run everything. Am I lying? Y'all got that kind of power. Yeah. Not everything, but everything. You know what I mean? Not everything, but y'all run everything. There's two different things. They know what I'm talking about, and y'all know what I'm talking about. Am I right? But I promise you, is Ashley and our president? I don't know if this is with compliance. Can I have a section at the game for all my OGs? I need a section that they ain't got to pay nothing. They on me. They straight. They straight. And we got to get some OG shirts to say I believe too. Y'all, we good with that? One last thing, guys.
One more thing. I know you say you want to challenge us, for the community, but I also want to challenge the police department, the fire department, sheriff department, the mayor. Not on nothing negative, but I'm going to give an example. I remember I went to an auction, city auction, It was like 100 basketball goals on the side. I said, what the basketball goals doing there? Oh, you can't play basketball in the street no more. So if you taking a basketball goal from the kids playing in the street, what you think they gonna do? They gonna find something to do. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes it's this small. They can make a problem this big.
Let me solve that problem right now. I'm trying to stay in compliance because I don't know all the rules. I'm young in this coaching thing. I have Buck, I got a garage. I got a shed full of uniforms, youth uniforms. The team is called Truth. Trust in God, respect myself and others, understand I have unlimited possibilities, try my best and never give up, and honor the truth and creed at all times. I got a plethora of uniforms. I just need some coaches, and we got the baddest youth program in Jackson. If y'all want it, I got it. Cleats, everything. Y'all want it, I got it. All sports, basketball, football, baseball, the big three. That's on y'all. If y'all want it, I got it.
How y'all doing? I'm Mario Hicks. This is what I wanted to say right here.
Hold the mic like that.
This for Mayor too, you know what I'm saying? In all the black communities, all the YMCAs and Boys Girls Club, I think it's on one and it's on Cap Street and it's on this last league. If you go to the white community, they still have all their YMCAs and all their Boys and Girls Club. We started losing all our programs. So when we lose our program, we lose more kids. When I was coming up, I went to Boys and Girls Club, you know what I'm saying? And it was a fun, we had the Jackson State, summer thing, you know what I'm saying? We had a lot of things that was going on. Now, we don't have none of that. So the kids, like I said, I used to be one of the problems. I used to be a big problem in Jackson. I ain't gonna even lie. You know, I did probably 10 years of prison. And during that time of the prison, you know what I'm saying, all the guys that was coming up in there, you know, and they'll see me, they like, oh, that's real, oh. And they were looking up to me in there. So I was like, dang, you know, all these folks up here doing what I do up here. I go and say, I'm finna bet with such. I'm finna bet with such. So I said, I'm finna see if I can use that same platform when I get out in the street. And when I get out the street, it was the same thing. People saw me. Like last year, you probably remember this. You know, I started the water gun thing. It stopped the killing in Jackson for 2 weeks. Am I lying? The same people that were running around here shooting at each other, they were running around shooting water guns at each other. For 2 weeks, we ain't had no violence. And by me saying that right there, I'm saying, like, it took a lot, you know what I'm saying, for some of us guys to come up in front of y'all. When I say y'all, I mean polices and, you know what I'm saying, like, I'm just being straight up.
Together, yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
we got it.
We don't want our face card to be pulled or being seen like, oh, this, you know what I'm saying, like, we really scared. I said over there, when I first came here, I said over there, cause I seen our police, I was like, I ain't going up there. But, you know, something that just within me told me I need to go and let my word be heard. And the thing is, like, you got some real go-getters up here, you know what I'm saying? Like, once upon a time, you know what I'm saying? Like, and now we trying to bring a betterment within the city. And it like he said, it's gonna take the people that's out here in the street, cause we working firsthand with these killers. I see them every day. I be looking at them like, hey man, you know. I'm just being real. We see them every day. They with us. You know, sometimes I slept in, you know, we sleep in the room with them sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But it gonna take some of us to step up and not be afraid of what the outcome. Cause when y'all see that we got that kind of power to say, man, y'all stop this. You know what I'm saying? We feel like, man, them boys, they got too much power. So we need to know that by us stepping up to the plate and doing our part, it ain't gonna be no backlash. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you will see more people stepping up. Cause they see, okay, then we got this.
Amen. Amen. Guys, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. We got to wrap it up. I went way over. I appreciate you. This is not the last thing. You guys had already been meeting well before I came. We got to continue this. We got to continue the dialogue. We got to continue the peace. We got to continue the love, the joy. Proud of y'all, man. Like Rico said, it took a lot for y'all to come up here on center stage and say the things that y'all said, because y'all meant that. Ain't nothing fake or phony or soft about any one of y'all, and I know that for a fact. And I appreciate each and every one of y'all, man. God bless you.
Okay. Well, y'all can come on me. I'm at John tonight. And I hope you guys grew up around you guys and with these guys. And I'm with an organization called Strong Off Jackson. And we have a prayer prevention program here in our city. None of these guys told y'all was falsified or was made up. I was reading last night. These are lives that we live, the struggles that we have, the struggles that we still see daily with our kids. I don't put a time limit on trying to save a life. Because we got kids out here. A lot of people, like I said, don't live here. The kids not here. The kids don't get educated here. Nothing for their kids are here in our city of Jackson. So a lot of people really don't care about trying to bring resources in other than more police or more prison or more jails to lock up young black men who have been misguided and mistreated as a young child. See, it's a mental issue in Jackson with a lot of people in the United States of America that people don't want to recognize and don't want to say nothing about. We don't get the right health care we need. We don't have the right people to go to that we can trust. Brothers and OGs like us. When I was little, I didn't want to go talk to Officer Frank, because Officer Frank didn't live on Danvers Street with me. He didn't have to eat hot dogs and beanie weenies and bologna with me. He didn't have to steal bread from Sunflower when he was in Market 1 with me to eat. So people don't understand the struggle that these young men go through because they shun them. The police pull up on them and run them off because they pants sagging like dudes today in talk. He a young guy. He from our south. So he reaching out for help. And we be missing it when our kids do reach out to us for help. When they lash out, when they doing things they're supposed to be doing, that means they need your help. If you are a parent and you haven't been taught how to be a parent, pray. Go with somebody, talk to them. The church is saying they're going to get back out in the street. That's what we need. We don't need you to not deal with these kids or not deal with me because I'm not a member of your church or because I'm not kicking down. You know what I'm saying? God is for everybody. Jesus didn't come here, as they say, and died just for a certain race of people or a certain person or a certain bracket of person. He died for everybody to have a chance at a good life.
No, I just I wanted to catch the brothers while they were up here and be clear that I've heard the challenge to the city, that I've heard the challenge to all of us, and so I want to say that I want this dialogue to continue, and it's something that we need to learn from you, right? I'm glad that my brother Knight. You know, I know you, right? You know, I know you. I know Teasy. I know he didn't call himself Teasy up here, right? But we truly understand. I think that sometimes when we use fancy words, when we say credible messenger programs, when we're in front of different academic discussions, we're not necessarily having those conversations where they need to be happening, right? And so these brothers were really speaking to the very thing that y'all are trying to do. Right. And I want them to understand that part of this process in how we interrupt the violence that takes place is a process where we understand that when work is going on by the violence interruption, by the credible messengers, that sometimes the best strategy is to have trust, for the police department to have trust in some circumstances that they are resolving that conflict. And they can't interrupt some of those things because they are looked at as someone who is snitching or someone who is cooperating. And so there has to be a way that we engage that we can see the fruits of what we are trying to do collectively, right? I do believe that there is a place, there is a need for law enforcement, right? But at the same time, we have to understand that there are other mechanisms that we have to get smarter about, that we got to call on for them to be a part of the solution as well. That's all I wanted to add.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Mayor. All right. I'm going to call Brandon back to the stage. Daryl, if you'll come on. Prayers, you can come on too. You can come on and join us. We're going to bring this to a close. First of all, I want to say thank you to everybody that has came out and stayed out. Give yourselves a round of applause, please. I want you to give a round of applause to the pastors and to the OGs who came tonight and they really poured out. Please give them a real hand of applause. While we make every attempt to make things flow smoothly, this is not about a production. We believe at Urban Specialists that real work will work, and it is about the work that we talked about so that we can move forward solutions. And so we're going to talk to you about the call to action and what you can do immediately after tonight so that you can get involved in being a part of the solution. Before we do that, though, we want to have words from the illustrious president of Jackson State University. So I'm going to give you an opportunity to address the crowd, please, and thank you.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Good evening. It is my pleasure to be here as a lifelong Jacksonian, and I'm just here to give thanks. I want to thank the mayor for his presence. I can say it, if you haven't been in that seat, you don't know what this man has to go through, and you don't know what it's like to be responsible for literally hundreds of thousands of lives. So for a young man in your position, I salute you and I applaud all that you do. So thank you, Mayor Lumumba. We have Chief Davis here as well, and we appreciate all that you do to keep the city safe. I also want to acknowledge our Commissioner for Public Safety, Commissioner Tyndall. And I just want to say that Commissioner Tyndall would not be here in this moment today. He asked to come here, and he's here because he wants to be a part of the solution to make Jackson a better place. So I applaud you being here, and I thank you for being here. I can't leave without shouting out my alumnus over here, Mr. Cortez Bryant, music mogul, who's again a part of the solution and wants to be a part of a better Jackson. All I'll say in closing is that at Jackson State, we're committed to being a part of the solution and we're committed to a better Jackson. If Black Lives Matter, then we educate Black minds here at Jackson State University, and we're going to keep doing that. We're going to keep being a part of the solution, and we ask all of you all to join us in this fight for a better Jackson. So I'll stop there. I thank you for your time. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to turn it to Brandon so he can talk to us a little bit before we close on out.
Hi, everybody. Good to see you. Good to be with you. I'm just a little speechless tonight, actually. I think that, for the pastors being up here, but I think I really am listening to what the OGs had to say up here tonight. And I think this community forum is the most important thing that we could all be listening to and paying attention to tonight. I work with the group Stand Together. You guys will see the logo up there, but Stand Together is simply this. It is standing together to remove the barriers for any person in this room, who's not in this room, the people that you represent, to thrive and to flourish. And so we put our money, our resources, our time, and our energy to be here to listen to all of your voices. And so I'm just really moved tonight by all the wonderful things that have been said. And so we are going to talk about some calls to action tonight. And there are two that we're really going to speak about. I'm not going to speak about them. Candace first is going to speak about them. And when she's done, I'll talk to you about my friend Daryl, who is over here.
All right, so one of the calls to action is OGU. Say that. Say OGU. All right, so OGU is another brainchild and vision of Bishop Omar Jahwar, and it's really about taking these leaders and influencers and allowing them a space and opportunity to use their influence to change communities. And so we have a training where we train OGs, we connect them to the young people who need it the most, and then we back them with training and resources to implement the changes that they talked about. Sad but true, some of the things that they said about Jackson are true everywhere. The young people need more things to do. We need more resources. They need so much. And so OGU is one way that they can get involved. OGU is not just for the traditional OG. We are reclaiming what it means to be an OG. It's anybody who's willing to speak their truth, use their influence, and put in good work in the community. So if that's something that you're interested in, or you know someone who should do that, you can find ways to get connected to OGU at healamericatour.com/join. We also have resources and support for the pastors and ministry leaders who are here tonight and said, listen, we know we have to do something more to move this work forward. And so I'll allow Daryl to talk about that.
Thank you. Thank you. The great Dr. King said, we must learn to live together as brothers and sisters, or we'll perish as fools. Right? And the work that the One America movement does is that we bring people together across their difference, across racial difference, and also across religious difference, to have basically these conversations that we're having tonight in a smaller kind of forum. So one of the ways that you can participate is that we're doing a training. And that's one way that you can participate is by training to learn how to talk to the other side, whatever that other side is. How to talk from Republicans to the Democrats, how to talk versus the divides around religion, from Muslim to Christians, how to talk about divides from blacks to whites. So we're offering this training free of charge to everyone here. You can sign up at healamericatour.com/join. More information is there. So look forward to seeing you sign up.
Yeah, so we're almost done here. We're going to close things down. Really, just so grateful for all of you being here. And then we're going to have a moment here just as we're getting done. But as we've been talking about faith leaders, but really this movement of Heal America being a spiritual movement, this is really about personal and community transformation. And you know, there's a verse in Joel chapter 2 in the Bible where it says that we should return to the Lord with all of our hearts, that we have to rend our hearts and not our garments. So what does that mean? It means sometimes we have to come to this place of humility. It's what I heard in the pastors tonight. It's what we heard in the OGs tonight, was this real humility, this real acknowledgement that, you know what, we're not perfect, but we're all worth hope. We're all worth belonging and worth connection. And there's a hope for our future. What we need to do is that we need to rend our hearts, come to the place where we understand that we've made some mistakes, but we still have the potential to grow and to transform. So we can't just get on our social media feeds and just say anything we want. We can't just talk to the people that we hate any kind of way we want to. We have to learn how to rend our hearts and to see one another, and someone said it, see each other with respect and with dignity and with love. And that's where we're at in this country today. You know that there's some recent stats out there you guys might be interested to know. You can go look them up, but the gist of all of them right now are saying that most Americans actually believe that violence is really possible, and that they could even validate violence against someone that they don't know if they perceive them to be an enemy just because of their political views. More than it has been in the last 4, 5, 6 years. That's the climate that we're living in right now. Jackson is not in an environment where you're not familiar with that, but I think that we can do something about it. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to rend our hearts tonight. We're going to rend our hearts and come to this place of humility. And so we're going to ask the pastor to come up and maybe lead us in a place of prayer. Why don't you all stand with us as we're closing tonight?
Yeah, so can some of the pastors come back out?
Yes, if they're there, if you guys can join us on stage. I'd also like for you guys to give a round of applause to Deion and to Bishop Omar. Yes. They are not just talking the talk, they are walking the walk. They carry this vision and this passion, and we are very much grateful for them, to them for that. I'm not sure if they're going to join us, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to make our hearts ready.
Yeah, this is great. Actually, we didn't plan this, but I think if all the OGs are here, you guys want to come on stage, just wear your masks. And if the pastors are here, want to come on stage, let's just have a unified front right now as we get involved in this moment. Go ahead.
And we can go ahead and pray as they're coming. I'm not sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's look to God in prayer. God, we do thank you. In spite of all that is going on in the world, we just want to pause and say thank you. In spite of all that we see going on in our cities, we still declare that you are a good God. And not only that, but you are a good Father. So God, we pray, God, that your healing virtue will flow into this city of Jackson. God, we know all the problems that we are facing, and it leaves us at times feeling hopeless and unhopeful. But we thank God for your son Jesus, who by his presence and by him coming into the world, he showed us a new way forward, a way that we can walk with hope. We can see and believe that you have not only great things for our lives, but you have a great plan for the city of Jackson. You have not turned your back on the city. You have not forgotten the city, but you are going to use us, God, to make it better. So God, we pray that we will be open with our hearts, we'll be open with our minds to receive and to move with the wind of the Spirit of God, so that one day we can talk about Jackson as being the place where there is opportunity, as being a place where there's opportunities for young people to go to the skating rink and to go to their own malls and go to their own places, God. This we ask in no other name but the strong name of Jesus, who is the Christ. And let all God's people say amen.
And thank you guys for joining us. Be blessed, and we'll be back to go to work. Good night.